I call to order the Community College Board of Trustees meeting. Can you hear me? Maria, please read the Open Public Meeting Act statement.
Yes, Chairperson. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey have been satisfied by an annual notice, including the date, time, and place of this meeting, posted in the first floor main lobby of the Pitkin Education Center of Bergen Community College, was mailed to the record in the Herald News, and filed with the clerk of the County of Bergen, November 26, 2018.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please call the roll.
Yes. Joseph A. Barretto.
Here.
Dorothy Blakesley.
Here.
Gerard Carroll.
Here.
Patrick Fletcher.
Here.
Mark Longo.
Here.
Carol Otis.
Here.
Irene Ujo.
Here.
Chital Ranjan.
Here.
Joseph Zara and Sabura Pekka are absent this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have our reports. Vice Chairman?
Yes, Madam Chair. Today I attended the open session of the Black History Month presentation, and it's going to be more information to follow about it, but I really enjoyed the main speaker there. She was fantastic. But again, like I stated, there'd be more information being spoken about this event today. That concludes my report.
And in the trustee packet, I think you have the Black History Month flyer.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Does the Secretary have a report?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Does the Treasurer have a report?
Yes, the Audit Finance Committee met earlier, well, in January. We spent a lot of time talking about a budget, and I think we've gotten much closer. It was a lot of work, and I thank our executive staff and the President for their work.
Does the President have a report?
I always have. This was a really busy day. So we had, as you say, Gerard, the kickoff for Black History Month. We also received for Black History Month a proclamation from the County Exec's office. I won't read it, but it's really nice. It'll be hanging up in my office. Very nice of them to do that, to recognize the event. I wasn't able to go because I was at an education summit at Ramapo College sponsored by the Meadowlands Chamber of Commerce, Workforce Development. Several people from the college there with me, talking to business and industry about how we can partner with them to have an educated workforce. That was a nice event. Although Larry tells me there's a picture posted of me already on somewhere, and he said it wasn't very flattering. But anyway, I tried. So several other things. Several of us, the board chair, Carol Otis, Gerard, Carol, Chital Ranjan, and Sabura Pekka, and I will be attending the National Legislative Summit sponsored by the ACCT this weekend, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. On Tuesday, I think we have meetings with all of our federal legislators for this area. So we'll be talking about college priorities for the community college sector. It's the first one of those that I've been to, so I'm looking forward to that meeting. You all know, of course, about the horrible fire with Markel paper. Hundreds of people now dislocated workers. I'm really happy to say that the college is cooperating with the governor's office. We will be hosting a job fair here on this campus, actually in this room, on Friday. Today I was asked at the Education Summit, like, what was the one thing I wanted business and industry to know about the college? And I said it was in her name, Bergen Community College, that in addition to doing all the things that colleges do, we have special obligations to our community. So when we were asked yesterday, could we do this, we didn't think about it. We said, of course we'll do that. So college is really happy to do that. The NJCCC, the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, is a trustee-led organization. It's not just the presidents, but there are trustees from each of the campuses. There is an opening on the executive committee of the council, and I wanted to let our trustees know about it. If you think that you might have interest in serving on the executive committee, you should let me know. There are 4 trustees and 3 college presidents, and they meet, I think, monthly, so it's quite a bit of a commitment, but it's a way to have some significant influence in the state. And we have a great group of trustees, so if you think you can manage the time, do think about it and let me know, and I'll get you the details for that. We have a couple introductions tonight. I have 2 new members to my executive staff team, both of whom are making my life already easier. I'm so glad that they're here. I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves to you. The first is our new Executive Vice President, Brian Agnew.
Good evening, everyone. I want to just say thank you very much for bringing me onto the college. As we know, we have lots of opportunities to build from, lots of history that drives who we are. I think that President Redmond just said, she said it best, right? We're Bergen Community College. And I think so many people either don't realize what the jewel is right here in Paramus, in Lyndhurst, and in Hackensack, that we need to tell that story. And I'm looking forward to working with the executive team and, of course, with each of you who've been wonderfully welcoming to continue to do that. So I thank you for your support, and I look forward to the collaborations that we're going to have over the coming years to make this place even better than it already is. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Agnew. And I'm really happy to say, at long last, we have an executive director of the college's foundation, Ron.
I hope they told you when you were appointed to this board that part of your duty is to support, i.e. financially, Bergen Community College, because I will be knocking on your doors eventually. I've had about 25 years in fundraising over universities, art museums, not-for-profits here in New York, so I've sort of done the rounds with what's going on. This wheel was sort of rusty for a while at Bergen Community College, and it is now starting to turn as it should. The committees are starting to meet. Alumni is getting together in 2 weeks for the first time in 2 years. Larry did the best to Band-Aid it for a while, but things are really moving, starting to move forward. And I'm excited. The people that I have met at the campus, and a lot of them sitting here, are wonderful. And their heart is in this place. And that makes my job so much easier. And the willingness to help and the willingness to support is there. So I'm looking forward to this journey with you all, and I will be calling. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the board remembers, I'm sure, that last year we did some reorganizations here at the college. Some were to save money, consolidating departments, but others were to help us achieve strategic purposes. One of the things that I felt that the college needed to position itself to do a much better job in is customized training and workforce development. Not that we weren't doing lots of good things, but I felt that at this particular time, this moment in the history of the county, that the college needed to step up and deliver even in a bigger way. So we elevated the Division of Continuing Education and Workforce Development in the college's organizational chart. The executive director, Chris Gillespie, is now a member of my senior staff, and lots of new programs are now rolling out. We're actually counting several $100,000 of net additional revenues next year in our budget coming from continuing ed. Not that I'm putting any pressure on you, Chris, but I wanted Chris to tell you a little bit about a new program that we just got some national recognition on. So, Chris Gillespie.
Madam Chair and members of the board, it is my pleasure to be before you, and I thank you very much for having the foresight to elevate workforce development and continuing education. I think as we heard this morning, there was an allusion made to the Gretzky comment about it's not knowing how to get to the puck, it's knowing where the puck's going to be. And I think that's a really important phrase and thought as we move forward, because continuing education and workforce development is a lot like that. There's some science and there's a lot of data gathering and data analysis. I know the board and the president has supported a recent economic modeling study to help us predict where those future trends might be. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is a newer program that we've got going. One started about 3 or 4 months ago. It was actually inspired by NJIT, which is a construction document technologist position. You say, well, what is that? It falls in the construction and building sciences and pre-engineering group, and it's really about managing the documents required to work on large-scale projects. Many of us know if you do an addition, even if you want to put a deck on the back of your house, you have to go to the municipality, you've got to pull permits, it's got to be stamped, and all of those other kinds of things. So that particular program has actually started off very, very well. We already have 10 students that are enrolled in that program, keeping in mind that these are adult students who are doing this on top of their already full-time job, or they are full-time in this program trying to seek that next job, generally meaning that they're using some other source of revenue to keep their families going until they can actually do this. I have to tell you, we have had a huge success story already. One of our students had a very difficult choice between taking employment at $75,000 a year after having been unemployed, or going full-time to NJIT. So you say, boy, that's a really tough decision. And those are the decisions that some of our students are making. And those are the personal choices that you make. So, the answer is, the guidance that we give them is, if you really, really have to earn dollars to keep your family moving, then that's what you do. And you tell your employer that you'll be going to NJIT part-time to finish your degree. And if you don't have to, you go to NJIT now and you get it out of the way, and your family will be really, really thrilled later on. So that's one of those great programs. The next I'd like to talk to you about is the one that I'd like to introduce one of my staff members. We have a longtime staff member here in continuing education. I'm not going to say she was here since the beginning, but she's been here since early on. And she made it very clear to me last week she's talking about sunsetting her career in some ways or another. And so she's cleaning up and reminiscing. So I would like to introduce to you and ask to stand, please, Ms. Rhea Bloss.
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Oh, okay. What we do and how we do it in continuing ed is very important to us here. We are extremely creative, up close and personal with the students. We talk to them, we bring them in, we find out what they want. We design courses that can help them. Since I've been here for 20 years, over 100 courses have been developed that are still running and active today. So I'm very proud of that. In our department, we have courses in the Institute of Learning and Retirement, the Children's Summer Camp, Construction and Construction Management, Human Resources, Social Media, Real Estate, Project Management, OSHA Safety, Interior and Fashion Design, just to name a few. But this new course, the Professional Investigator Certificate program that you have in this magazine, the article starts on page 32. I've already had companies that want to hire the people that go through this program, and that's a wonderful thing, because that's what we want. That's what we do. I mean, they can take classes on the credit side, and that's great, but after that, they're at a loss, and we're not. So we work closely with the one-stop agencies in New Jersey, and our evaluations from the students tell us that we're doing a great job, and we are focused on the path that is relevant for their future. Thank you very much.
I'm going to steal 20 seconds more time because we got an email today, and I think Ellen is still here. Ellen, would you please stand? Ellen Aramini is our Director of Career Services, and she works very closely with our students, whether they're unemployed or they are employed, in figuring out what they do. Not long ago, the consortium that the President mentioned had a joint grant spread out across the state called Ready to Work, targeted long-term unemployed. So the only people that were even eligible for the funding were people who had already exhausted their 26 weeks of unemployment insurance. At that time, we ran a pharmacy technician program. Young woman was enrolled. Ellen worked with her at the end of the program, make sure that they get placed. Ellen got an email today, and she sends out all these job alerts all the time, just making sure that students get employed, and we try to get back the information. Are you employed? Where are you working? Have you had a raise? Today, we got an email that this young lady has completed her Master's of Science in Health Management and Administration from Rutgers University. I would like to thank Ellen for taking the time to work with these students and make them feel comfortable and confident enough to be able to go that far in a career. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Very good.
So this magazine, that's a national magazine, right, Chris?
Yes,
That
it
we were
is.
featured in, and the students going into that program, some of them are already being hired, and being hired even by companies out of state, if I remember
Correct.
correctly. It's pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
It really is, and that's what Ria was referring to. As a result of the national magazine, we've had inquiries from all over the country. Is this program online, et cetera, et cetera? And then we had an employer from southeastern Pennsylvania say, as soon as you have graduates, let us know, because we'll take 10. Which I thought was just incredible. So, thank you.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. That was excellent. Down to the committees. We have our committee reports right now. We'll start with the Audit and Finance. Dottie?
Audit and Finance had their meeting late last month, and will be recommending that the board approve resolutions AF 1 through 7.
Education and Student Affairs.
ESA met 2 weeks ago, and I'm recommending that we vote on ESA 1 through 3.
Personnel, Patrick?
Personnel met on January 24th. Our agenda remained a little fluid, and I'm happy to be in a position to recommend, as the representative of our committee, P1 through 9, with special attention on P8 and P9. Congratulations to all those involved in having a point where we're recommending successor collective bargaining agreements for the college's Professional Staff Association and the Support Staff Association. So congratulations to all.
Thank you. Report for Site and Facilities. A report.
We met on January 23rd, Site and Facilities. This evening, we do not have any resolutions to bring before the board.
Thank you. Report for Strategic Planning.
We met on Friday, February 1st, and we discussed some of the ways that technology at the college is being used to kind of push forward our strategic plan, so it's great, and looking forward to continuing that.
Thank you. Sabora's not here. Oh, that's it. The committees are done. The alumni trustee is not here, so we don't have that report. And my report is we will continue because we do have this executive session. Unfinished business. Is there any member of the board who would like to raise some unfinished business? Okay. New business. Is there any new business that any board member would like to raise? Okay, then, may I please have a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone wishing to address the board tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Luis de Abreu, the STEM Program Director. Hopefully you guys know me by now. I just want to put on your radar three big events that are coming up. One of them is actually going to be very close to the next meeting, so that's why I want you guys to be aware. Number one, we have the STEM Student Scholars Induction Ceremony. That's what we call the 3SP Induction Ceremony. These are the cream de la cream of STEM students that are going to be inducted. This is the second cohort that we're going to induct. The induction ceremony will take place on Friday, March 8th. If you guys can make it, that'll be awesome. It will be a privilege for students. I'm sure that they're going to be thrilled to have you there. So March 8th at 5 p.m. I'll send you guys a formal invitation. I'll share that with Maria. That'll be the first event. Second event, believe it or not, STEM C Square is right around the corner. That is the big event that we do every year. It's an annual event that we do to showcase the talent of our students. So this is the event that we have the poster competitions, we have concurrent sessions, workshops. We invite people from all over the state, as well, actually the tri-state area, high schools, community college, four-year institutions. So if any of you or all of you can make it, that will be awesome. I'll send you guys the invitation as well. April 12th, Friday, April 12th. That is a whole day event. So any time within that time frame will be an excellent for you guys to come. And the third thing, which I don't have a date just yet, but I'm sure that you guys have heard, the STEM Student Research Center. We're getting close to that completion period. We don't have a time yet for that grand opening, but I do want you guys to be aware that we're getting close to that completion period. I've done a little bit of research. Don't quote me on this, because maybe one or two institutions might have fallen through the crack, but I think we'll be the first institution to have a STEM research center for a community college. So we'll be very unique nationwide. This is going to be a very nice showcase piece. I'm excited to possibly have it open for the open house. And as soon as parents and potential students walk in, I'm sure they're going to fall in love with the STEM opportunities that they will have. As soon as I have a date for the grand opening, I'll be more than happy to have you guys attend that event as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We do enjoy them when we go. Anyone else? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public meeting?
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I think we're done with that part. Too many papers. Okay, may I please have a motion to accept the December 4th, 2018 and January 7th, 2019 minutes? Shall we separate them?
Yes, please.
Okay. We'll first do December 4th, 2018. Who is going to make a motion?
Over. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
January 7, 2019?
Abstain.
You abstain? I think I have to abstain too.
That's right, you were
I
here.
wasn't here. Michigan.
Still need a motion.
I know. May I have a motion for that, for the January 7th?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda. Items for the approval for this Tuesday, February 5th, 2019. May I have a motion to approve the following consent agenda items? AF1 to AF7, ESA to ESA3, Personnel 129. I have a motion.
Moved.
Second.
Okay, we'll have to take a roll call on this. Roll call.
Joseph A. Barretto?
Yes.
Dorothy Blakesley?
Yes.
Gerard Carroll?
I'd like to abstain from ESA 1 and yes on all the remaining.
Thank you. Patrick Fletcher?
Yes.
Mark Longo?
Just want to recuse myself from AF1, yes on everything else.
Thank you. Carol Otis?
Yes.
Irene Ujo?
Yes.
Chital Ranjan?
Yes.
Thank you. And Joseph Zara and Sabora Pekka are absent tonight. Thank you.
The consent agenda passes. If we're going into executive session, we must go now. So would you please read that?
Yes, Chairperson. On behalf of Chairperson Otis, pursuant to Section 12B of the Open Public Meetings Act NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. The following matter will be discussed by the board tonight in closed session, and that will be pending litigation involving the Irizarry versus the Bergen Community College. Thank you. The discussion will become public when need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Okay, may I have a motion to enter into executive session?
Move it.
Second.
Or a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess you can't oppose, so we'll just go ahead. You can't oppose that, can you? We will be back at the conclusion of the executive session.
Thanks, Don.
May I have a motion to open the session?
I'll move that.
Yes, second.
Second.
Whoever.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Let's take a roll call. No, I'm only- The February 5th, 2019 meeting of the Board of Trustees is now adjourned.
I did. I really nice. Very good, Chair.
I saw it.
We're gonna get-
No. Hey, Joe?
Larry?
Welcome. Joe. Joe. You took my popcorn. I knew it.